everyone. Welcome to Mandarin Pod for Children. I'm your host, Grace. So today we're jumping into a really interesting topic: celebrity kids learning Chinese. We're going to chat about why so many celebs are getting their kids into Mandarin, what kind of awesome benefits it might bring to kids' future, and even throw out some practical tips for parents who are curious about starting their own kids on this journey. Now, let me bring in our special guest for today. We've got Mark, a dad from Los Angeles. Mark, want to give a quick hello to everyone?
Hi, this is Mark, just a regular dad who's really passionate about how languages can shape a child's future in amazing ways. I'm thrilled to be here today to share some of my own experiences and thoughts with you all. I've got a 5-year-old daughter, and we've recently kicked off her adventure into learning Chinese. Honestly, it's been such an eye-opening and rewarding ride so far.
It's so awesome to have you here, Mark. You know, learning Chinese has totally become this hot trend among a bunch of celebrities lately. We're going to dig into which celebs are doing it, why they're choosing this path for their kids, and whether everyday families like yours should think about jumping on the bandwagon too, and what kind of benefits could it bring to our kids' lives. Let's start with some big names to get the ball rolling. Mark, have you heard about how Mark Zuckerberg hired a Chinese nanny to teach his daughter Max Mandarin?
Oh yeah, I totally heard about that. It's honestly pretty fascinating to me. I think it really shows Zuckerberg's forward-thinking vibe. He's always been this guy who's ahead of the curve in the tech world, and this move with his daughter's language learning feels like more of that same energy.
Exactly.
By bringing in a Chinese nanny, he's setting up this full-on immersive environment for Max. It's like he's handing her a golden ticket to get a head start on a language and culture that could be super important later, like potential business opportunities popping up in China.
You're so spot on with that, Mark. A lot of people think it's tied to China's growing influence in the global economy these days. I mean, China's sitting as the world's second largest economy right now, and experts say it's only going to keep growing. Plus, Chinese is one of the most spoken languages out there with over 1 billion native speakers. Being able to speak it could unlock a ton of opportunities down the road, whether that's in business, tech, or even cultural exchanges. Here's another one for you: Prince William. His son, George Alexander Louis, started learning Chinese when he was just 6 years old.
That's incredible. It really drives home how massive Chinese is becoming on the world stage.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, think about it, a future king learning Chinese? That sends such a strong message. It's not just about picking up the language itself, it's also about building those cultural bridges. Looking ahead, as the UK keeps working with China on all sorts of things, having a leader who can actually speak Chinese could be a huge advantage. It might even boost diplomatic ties or open up fresh opportunities for trade, education, and beyond.
Exactly, you hit the nail on the head. Then there's Jeff Bezos, the Amazon mastermind. He got his kids started on Mandarin lessons when they were still really young. Bezos has always been this visionary guy, right? He probably saw that in the future job market, knowing Chinese could give his kids a serious leg up. With Amazon's global reach and China being such a gigantic market, understanding the language and culture could pay off big time for any business moves his kids might make later on.
Oh, that makes total sense to me. I've also heard about Jim Rogers, the investment guru. His daughters, B. Rogers and Hilton Rogers, are fluent in Chinese. Jim's known for his sharp insights in the finance world, and it's clear he spotted the long-term value of learning Chinese early on. The fact that his daughters are so good at it shows how seriously he took it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a fantastic example for us as parents. If someone with his kind of success believes Chinese is that important for his kids, it's definitely worth a look for our own little ones too.
Oh, absolutely. And then there's Ivanka Trump's daughter, Arabella. She can sing Chinese songs and recite Chinese poems like it's nothing, super fluent. Her performances have gone viral online, and it really highlights how the Trump family's tapped into Chinese culture. It's a perfect example of how even in political and diplomatic circles, Chinese is starting to matter more and more.
I remember watching those videos of Arabella, pretty mind-blowing stuff. She's not just memorizing lines, you can tell she really gets the meaning and the cultural context behind it. It's such a strong case for why starting kids early on languages is so worth it. Oh, and then there's David Beckham's daughter, Harper. I heard she started learning Mandarin at 8 and now she's really good at it.
You're totally right, Mark. The Beckhams are basically a global brand on their own, and they get how valuable cross-cultural communication is. China's got this massive football fan base, and by having Harper learn Chinese, they're building a deeper connection with that audience. Plus, it's a smart investment in her future. Whether she ends up in entertainment, business, or even philanthropy, those language skills could come in handy. So Mark, you're a dad who's decided to go for it with your daughter learning Chinese. What pushed you to make that call?
Well, there's a bunch of reasons, honestly. First off, I see the world changing so fast and China's becoming this huge force in tons of areas. In tech, companies like Huawei and ByteDance are making waves all over the globe. In business, China's a major trading partner for the US these days.
Yeah, totally get that.
I want my daughter to be part of that global picture, Learning Chinese feels like a great way to set her up for it. Second, I've always been a sucker for different cultures, and Chinese culture is one of the coolest out there. The history, from ancient dynasties to modern breakthroughs, is just so rich and captivating. I want her to explore all of that through the language itself. I really believe language and culture are tied together, and by learning Chinese, she'll get a deeper feel for the people and their way of life.
I love that angle.
And then there's the education side of it. I've come across studies that say learning a second language, especially one as unique as Chinese, can boost brain power. It helps with stuff like problem solving, memory, and even creativity. I just want my daughter to have every chance to reach her full potential, and Chinese seems like an awesome tool to help her get there.
That's such a well-rounded take, Mark. For regular families, learning Chinese can definitely bring a ton of benefits to the table. From a brain boost standpoint, research shows that picking up a second language, especially one as different as Chinese with its tones, characters, and grammar, can sharpen a kid's problem-solving skills and multitasking abilities. It really challenges their mind in fresh ways.
I've actually noticed that with my daughter already. She's just getting started, but I can see her concentration getting stronger. Like when she's working on pronouncing a new Chinese word just right, she's so focused. And it's not just the language, it's building her discipline and stick-with-it attitude too.
Exactly, that's huge. And looking long-term, it can open up all sorts of career doors. In business, China's a key trading partner for so many countries. Knowing Chinese could give your kid a real edge when they're applying for jobs in international trade, marketing, or even e-commerce, which is exploding over there. In diplomacy, speaking Chinese could be a major asset for dealing with counterparts directly. Even in cultural exchange like arts, music, or film, understanding the language can let your kid dive into cross-cultural projects.
Oh, I'm all about that. I'm already dreaming about what it could mean for my daughter's future. She might go into international business, and Chinese could totally change the game for her. Or maybe she'll get into cultural exchange and use her skills to bring people together across countries. The possibilities feel endless.
I love hearing that enthusiasm, Mark. And here's the good news. Learning Chinese doesn't have to feel overwhelming or tough for kids. With the right resources and approach, it can actually be a really fun and exciting experience for them.
So Grace, as a Chinese teacher, what do you think will make learning Chinese fun for kids?
Great question, Mark. Even if parents don't know Chinese themselves, there are so many ways to make the journey fun and engaging for kids. First off, look for online Chinese courses that are interactive and kid-friendly. Platforms like ekinslearning.com have awesome classes with native teachers who are full of energy. They use bright animations and real-life examples to break things down. The fact that it's online adds this cool, modern twist, like the kids are going on a digital adventure to learn a whole new language. It keeps them hooked.
Yeah, that sounds like it could really grab their attention.
Another fun idea is to try interactive learning apps. There are tons out there with games designed to teach Chinese characters, vocab, and pronunciation. They've got rewards, leaderboards, and challenges to keep kids excited. You can even sit with your child and play together, cheer them on as they level up. It's a blast and a bonding moment all in one.
Oh, I can see that being a hit with my daughter.
And for learning materials, grab some Chinese picture storybooks. They're packed with colorful illustrations that help kids figure out the story even if they don't know all the words yet. You can read them together, guessing what's happening from the pictures, and have your kid point out any Chinese words they recognize. It's super interactive and builds their confidence.
Those are such practical and fun suggestions. They feel totally doable for any parent.
Thanks, Mark, for joining us today and sharing your insights. It's been so great hearing a dad's perspective on all this.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, we hope this episode got you thinking and maybe even inspired you a bit. If you're curious about getting your kids into Mandarin, just shoot me a DM. I'll hook you up with a free one-on-one online lesson to kick things off. Thanks for listening, everyone. Stay tuned for more, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
See you all later. Bye.